Hello everyone, welcome to the Ripple update. Today is Wednesday, May 14th. I have some updates on our Ripple Gateway software project and some playing with Ripple D that I've been doing. First off, our team is going to Amsterdam for the Bitcoin conference, International Bitcoin Conference put on by the Bitcoin Foundation, and they have a booth. 4 or 5 of them are speaking at the conference, the Bitcoin conference, and we are showing off a Ripple Gateway implementation that myself and a handful of other engineers at Ripple Labs have been working on. And it was originally called the Ripple Gateway project. It's been broken up into several different pieces that you can use to build gateways. First off, we have the ability to log in as an administrator or register users. And we are looking at stroopgate.com. Stroopgate, it's a Stroopwaffle is the currency that we're going to issue here. Stroopwaffles are actually waffles, and they're going to be serving them as a little game to get you to use waffle-backed currency and in exchange for real waffles at the conference. So, in order to log in as an admin to this gateway, we can get the password, the API key. Well, by default, your username is going to be admin at the website.com. And I have a server. So here we have a web app. And the web app is a AngularJS project that's a front end for the back end of the Gateway project, which is called Gateway D. So we have Gateway D, the back end server. It's kind of like Ripple D, but way less awesome. And then, but it allows you to build a gateway really easily. So I'm in there now. You can see we have Gateway D and Ripple Gateway web app. I'm going to go into Gateway D because Gateway D comes with a command line interface like Bitcoin D or Ripple D that enables you to interact with the gateway. And I'm going to get the actual key by the API key for this gateway by entering this in right here. And now that I've run bin gateway get key, I have the API key that I'll paste in as the password. When I log into the gateway, what we've done is implement a bunch of features that a generic gateway would need in order to get up and running and to administer it properly. So if you run the Gateway D software in the background, in the back end, and this gateway web app, or build your own web app, all this is open source. You'll get access to this interface where you can see a history of payments. We've been issuing Stroopwaffle dollars, and I think that 5 Stroopwaffle dollars get you one waffle, a real waffle. The gateway has a cold wallet that issues all of the Stroopwaffle dollars. You can see here that Gateway's issued 9,991 Stroopwaffle dollars to this hot wallet over here. The hot wallet is it automatically sends out payments for the gateway in a programmatic way. And so we're risking up to 10,000 Stroopwaffle dollars, which is 2,000 Stroopwaffles. It's a lot. And then playing with it, other people have also received 78.78 Stroopwaffle dollars in their wallets. And this is before we're demoing it at the event. But we can also register users at the gateway, and a user registers with their email and a password that they can later use to log in to your gateway and make deposits and withdrawals into Ripple and out of Ripple. And each user provides a Ripple address, and we validate this information so they can log in. I'll show you that later, or they can register. If you want to make a deposit, then a deposit is in Ripple, someone will bring you an asset, and as a gateway, you will issue them currency on Ripple that is backed by that asset. So in this case, we're issuing Stroopwaffle dollars. 5 of the currency, Stroopwaffle dollars, is backed by one whole real Stroopwaffle. And so I want 3 Stroopwaffles, so I'm gonna send myself 15, and I'm user ID number 1. And we specified in this gateway the Stroopwaffle dollar. So here I'm gonna make that deposit now. And in a minute, I should be able to actually go and see in my Ripple account that money coming in. So this is the new rippletrade.com. So here I'm logging in. I have some new notifications. A few seconds ago, if you look up here in the top right, I received 14.85 Stroopwaffle dollars. And here's the Ripple transaction coming from the gateway. If you go back to overview, we can see that deposit here, 15 Stroopwaffle dollars to user 1. Also, if I want to actually claim Stroopwaffles, say I have a bunch of Stroopwaffles, I can make a withdrawal. In order to make a withdrawal, since I have Stroopwaffles in my wallet here, I'm going to show you now. Here's Stroopwaffle dollars from the Stroopwaffle gateway. I have 93.6 of those in my Ripple wallet. And I want to claim 3 Stroopwaffle dollars, so I'm going to send to the Stroopwaffle gateway. And it requires that I send a destination tag, which for me and my account is 1. This destination tag will be unique for every user, and the gateway will provide them with this tag so that they can make withdrawals at the gateway. And I want to send 15 Stroopwaffle dollars in order to get 3 real Stroopwaffles. So I'm going to go ahead and send that now. All right, it's been submitted. In a few seconds, that payment should be complete, and I will be ready to withdraw 3 Stroopwaffles. All right, so here we see that a new withdrawal has come in, and it says 14.85 Stroopwaffles have been requested to be withdrawn. And the reason it's not 15 is because there's a fee for withdrawing Stroopwaffles. And so I can't quite get 3 full-size ones because of the 1% withdrawal fee. There was also a 1% deposit fee, and this feature is configurable in the gateway, in the config. And as an administrator of this gateway, I can just clear a withdrawal. So say I hand them 3, or they hand me about 3 Stroopwaffles, and then they click clear, and the withdrawal has been cleared, and I've gotten the asset that I was holding in my Ripple wallet. Okay, that was a brief overview. Most of the functionality that works well on the front end is the administration. Users can also register with their Ripple address and an email address and password. When they register, they'll be able to see their the withdraw address that they need to withdraw currency, and you can provide custom instructions for how to deposit into the gateway. The next thing I want to show you that I've been working on today is practicing once again installing all the new Ripple D changes on Ubuntu 14. And so I created a new server on Amazon Web Services, and in order to do this, go to aws.amazon.com. You'll need to make sure to have at least a medium-sized instance in order to have enough memory and CPU power to compile Ripple D. So I got a medium instance on Amazon with Ubuntu 14.04, which is the Amazon-provided Ubuntu. And I set out to install Ripple D based on the instructions and some of my experiences. Andrew had asked me to make one script that you run that installs the whole thing. And so I created a gist It's on my gist. I'll look gist.github.com/Steven Zeiler. And here it is, install RippleD. RippleD, all of this is available in the wiki, but not as a single script. And this worked today. I ran the whole thing through from a blank Ubuntu machine. So we update, we install Git. Scons is the build tool that we need to install. ctags, package config. These are all requirements for RippleD. Then we need protobuf, and then we need SSL. And those are all default packages. We need to add a repository for Boost, which is a C++ library, and install Boost that way. And then finally, we clone down RippleD from GitHub and check out master and run scons, which builds RippleD. And so this is what I've done. And I've gotten to, here's the server, and I have RippleD here. Since we're in RippleD, we can, in order to run the actual program, you do build RippleD. And it's going to tell me that I don't have a configuration file. So this happens as soon as you get RippleD, but you know that you've made it pretty far in actually building RippleD if you get to this. So here we have a Ripple example config in the doc folder. So I'm going to go ahead and take a look at that. Okay, so the Ripple example configuration is really awesome, and I recommend you read the whole thing. It explains all the different features of RippleD. Important things that we want to enable, or I want to generally enable, are RPC networking and WebSocket networking, or at least WebSocket networking, so that I can use RippleLib to interact with it. RPC networking, it's really great to be able to use HTTP directly to interact with RippleD. And that will be really helpful for people who haven't used WebSockets before or don't have a reliable WebSocket implementation for their platform. You can use HTTP directly to interact with Ripple and RippleD. So these all have default configurations. We'll need to generate an SSL certificate. And okay, so by default, I need to copy this into home ubuntu.config.ripple /slip-ripple. So, okay. Home ubuntu.config ripple. Okay, so that's an empty directory. I'm going to copy the Ripple, the example.config to home ubuntu.config ripple. And there we go. Okay, so maybe now when I run build RippleD, okay, so it doesn't have a node.db entry. So let's check out what that is. Oh, that's not even there. Okay, so copy doc RippleD config, no, example.config. Right, okay, then I need to copy that to home ubuntu.config RippleD, not RippleD example.config. And I'm going to go ahead and look in there. And there's RippleD example, which I don't need, and RippleD config. Okay, so now I'm going to go back into home Ubuntu RippleD, and I'm going to say build RippleD, see what happens. Okay, cannot create var lib RippleD db. Why not? Maybe that doesn't exist. And so there's no file or directory var lib RippleD. This is where RippleD is going to put the database, which is rocksdb on top of leveldb. And so if I try to make that directory, I can't. So I'm going to use sudo to make the directory. And then I'm going to try, again, running build RippleD. Still can't create this, so maybe this is a directory also. Sudo make dir. Okay, it's making me want to make. It's having me make a long list of directories. I guess I could just run sudo build rippled. I don't know if this is the most secure thing to do, but here we have rippled starting up, and it's seeing ledger consensus. Okay, so no longer we're not seeing consensus ledger, but this is what you'll see. I hope that the script is useful. It's here. I can post this on my blog so you can see it at stevenseiler.com. And good luck getting started with rippled. I'll try to run through maybe some RPC calls or probably RPC calls. I think that would be good. But this is going to take a while to actually connect to all the nodes. Actually, it's not going to connect because I didn't specify any kind of networking flags or anything. So there's a lot of stuff still to configure, which I hopefully will be able to show at some point. Well, that's the Ripple update. Thank you for watching, and stay tuned for more to come.